Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Jasmine and you're watching Yazz'n It Up, and please do not mind the mess behind me. Clearly we are working in the kitchen today. I did mention a little bit ago, I think in a vlog, that I've been wanting to film all of the breakfasts that I make for my mom. So basically, if you guys don't know, my mom, she works at a school. She wakes up early in the morning and sometimes she does not have time for lunch or for breakfast. So the least that I can do is make ahead a bunch of breakfasts for her. She takes one in the morning, or sometimes I'll take one out of the freezer and put it in the fridge for her, and then when everything settles down at school, she's able to microwave it. And sometimes that breakfast sandwich or whatever breakfast that I make for her is all that she eats all day. So I want to make sure at least she has something to eat. She is very busy, and like I said, it's the least that I can do for my mom. So today's goal, and I only have a little bit of time to film this, but the goal is to make breakfast sandwiches. So I have croissants and I have the oven preheating so I can make some biscuits, and I also want to make her farmers is what we call it. Basically it's like potato hash, eggs, sometimes there's vegetables in it like onions and spinach and cheese in it. You gotta make sure that there's cheese in it. And I also would like to make her some breakfast burritos. So pretty much that's just like eggs in a tortilla with some tomatoes maybe. And then all of these breakfasts will have turkey bacon in them. Usually I use regular bacon for her, but first of all, bacon is getting expensive. So the turkey bacon that I bought is actually like half of the price of regular bacon. Plus it's healthier for her. And second of all, she does not like the fat on bacon. So I feel like turkey bacon will be the way to go because it doesn't really have that much fat. She's not a fan of that. She is the person that likes her bacon extra crispy, like completely dead. So I need to go ahead and make these biscuits. That way we can make the sandwiches, and then I need to start making the turkey bacon. So I'm going to be taking you guys along on all of these breakfasts that I'm making for my mom. I hope you guys enjoy today's video, and if you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let's jump right into it. Alrighty, so I have a tray here with parchment paper, and I have these biscuits here. These are just the Great Value Jumbo biscuits. Here's what these guys look like. So I'm just gonna pop this open and lay them on the parchment. And this says here that they're going in the oven at 350 for 13 to 17 minutes or until golden brown. Alright, so in that can there was 8 biscuits in there, and my oven is preheating like I said before, so I'm gonna go ahead and wait for the oven and then pop these in. Alrighty, so to prepare, I went ahead and made these adorable little notes. These are just labels, like sticker labels, and I wrote some positive words for her. Stay positive, you are loved, you are worthy, you make my heart full. Just really cute, encouraging words that I can put on my mom's breakfasts and her sandwiches just to make her smile in the beginning of the day. So I made a couple of those that will make her smile or make her laugh. And then right over here, I have a station. I went ahead and ripped a bunch of pieces of aluminum foil that I will wrap the sandwiches in. And then I also have this thing of parchment paper. This is Wilton parchment paper, and I will be cutting pieces of those and putting them on top of the aluminum foil. So I'm going to be wrapping the sandwiches in the parchment paper and then wrapping it in aluminum. That way when she goes to warm it up, she just has to put it on top of the parchment. And then the stickers will go on each sandwich and each breakfast. And then to start, I purchased these croissants here. These are from Food Lion. And these are just regular large croissants. There's 4 of them in here, and they were $3.49. So what I'm gonna go do is put parchment paper on the rest of these aluminum sheets, and then I'm going to slice these croissants in half. So she will have 4 croissant sandwiches, and then she will also have those 8 biscuits, which are currently baking in the oven, along with all of the other breakfasts I'm gonna have prepared for her. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on this. Guys, these croissants here smell so buttery, and my mom loves these croissants. We get them from Food Lion, or we've also purchased them from Walmart at their bakery, but these smell so good. So what I'm doing next is just taking these slices of Kraft cheese and I'm gonna be placing them on each biscuit. She likes to have bacon, cheese, and an egg on her biscuits and her croissants. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these on the croissants, and then I need to start with the turkey bacon because I have not started cooking that yet. And then we have a bunch of eggs that we need to cook up today. Alrighty, so this is the turkey bacon that I bought my mom. This is just the Butterball low sodium turkey bacon. I'm pretty sure I picked this up from Walmart or from Food Lion. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this open. This is a bacon microwave tray. So basically what I'm gonna be doing is opening up the turkey bacon, placing it on the tray here, and this is microwave safe. That way I don't have to stay at the stovetop all day making the bacon. And it looks like I can fit 5 pieces of bacon on here comfortably. I'm gonna put a paper towel on top, that way there's no splatter. And I'm gonna be putting this in the microwave for 3 minutes, flipping it over and cooking it for another 2 minutes. Alrighty, so turkey bacon is done. What I actually did was what I told you guys before. I cooked it for 3 minutes on one side and then I flipped it over and I only cooked it for an additional 1 minute instead of 2 minutes. And I think now what I'm gonna do, because obviously turkey bacon cooked differently from what I do for regular bacon, I'm gonna cook each side for 2 minutes. So now that these are done, I'm gonna go ahead and take a piece of the turkey bacon, snap it in half, and put it on top of each sandwich. So each sandwich is gonna get 1 slice of turkey bacon, and that'll be for the croissants and for the biscuits. So now we need to go ahead and start cooking some eggs for these sandwiches. So for the eggs, I have a bowl here with a fork. I'm just gonna be taking an egg, cracking it of course, making sure that there's no shells in here, which there's not, a dash of pepper and a pinch of salt, and then I'm gonna scramble this up and head to the stovetop to cook these up. Alrighty, so right over here is where I had the egg. This one is just about done, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip this over. I do 1 egg at a time for the sandwiches, and I'm just gonna cook it on both sides. Here is what one of the finished eggs look like. These are what's gonna be going on our sandwiches. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook a bunch of these single eggs up for our breakfast sandwiches. Alrighty, biscuits are baked and fully cooled. What we're gonna do next is cut these in half. Just like we did with the croissants, I'm gonna be taking these delicious smelling biscuits and just taking my knife and cutting them in half. That way we can start filling these with some turkey bacon and some cheese. And I think this is a little bit too big for the biscuit, but it's all right. We're gonna have some delicious cheese oozing out. And now we just need to wait for some more eggs to cook. Because I do them one at a time, it does take me a little bit longer, but this is just the first step. Then we could just put the eggs on and wrap them all. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare all of these biscuits. Alrighty, so we are finishing up these biscuit, bacon, cheese, and egg sandwiches. I have just finished making all of the single eggs. So just like the croissants, let's go ahead and egg up. These I definitely have to fold in half because they are much larger than the biscuit, but mother needs some extra protein. We're gonna wrap these up. Just like that, and stick a little sticker on here, just a little label. And this one says, Dormammu, I've come to bargain. That is a quote from one of her favorite Marvel movies from Doctor Strange. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish all of these biscuit sandwiches. Alrighty guys, now we have 8 biscuit, egg, and bacon cheese breakfast sandwiches here to go along with our 4 croissant sandwiches. Let's go ahead and jump into our breakfast burritos. Alrighty, so for our next breakfast, we're going to be making breakfast burritos. So what you're gonna be needing for that, I have these Mission tortillas. I have some of these here. I have some cheddar cheese, and I have some grape tomatoes here. These are just from Food Lion. And I went ahead and chopped a bunch of these up already. So I have chopped tomato. And I'm finishing cooking up all of the turkey bacon. What I did so far was just crumble the rest of it. And I added a bunch of eggs in here, some salt, pepper, and a dash of milk. I'm gonna go ahead and whisk these up, and we're gonna be making some scrambled eggs. So let's go ahead and move to the stovetop. y'all, I got all my ingredients going on. So just like we started the other breakfast sandwiches, I have a piece of aluminum foil, a piece of parchment paper, and I actually only had 4 of these Mission tortillas. So what I'm gonna be doing first is taking our cheddar cheese and sprinkling a little bit of love on each tortilla right in the center, making sure everything kind of stays in a line. Next step, I'm gonna hit all of these with a little bit of my chopped tomatoes. And I definitely chopped way too many, but I also didn't know I only had 4 tortillas. I'll actually probably end up putting these chopped tomatoes in our farmers that we're making next. So I'm gonna set this aside. And then we have the good stuff. Like I showed you guys before, I crumpled up some of the turkey bacon. I'm gonna add a little bit of this to each tortilla. And these hot eggs that are sitting right over here, I have a spoon, and I'm gonna go ahead and spoon all of this mixture into our 4 tortillas. I think this came out to be like 6 eggs. Alrighty, so I do have a little bit of eggs left over. I could probably make another tortilla or 2, but like I was telling you guys before, I only have 4, and I don't want to overstuff these because I want to be able to roll them. So let's go ahead and start rolling these together. And I'm just making sure I have all of the goodness shoved inside of there. And even though some of it is coming out, I'm just gonna shove it right back in, roll it around in this parchment paper real tight. And then same thing with the aluminum foil. And of course you can't forget the sticker to go ahead and seal that. And this one here says, "You make me smile." So I'm gonna go ahead and finish rolling all of these tortillas. And now I have 4 breakfast burritos that I can add to our stash. All right, friends, certainly but not least, we're gonna be working on some farmers. So I have 2 potatoes here. I have part of a red onion that I need to chop. You guys already saw the chopped tomato. We're gonna be adding this. The rest of our turkey bacon, I crumbled it up into tiny pieces, and then some more eggs. So I'm gonna crack these, have some salt and pepper here to season with. So first I'm gonna start by peeling the 2 potatoes that I have. I have a food processor right here next to me that's gonna be shredding these potatoes. You can actually buy shredded potatoes already in the freezer section, but I don't have that on hand, so I'm gonna be making my own shredded potatoes. So I'm gonna peel these. I'm gonna chop these potatoes into smaller pieces, that way I can feed it to the food processor. And I guess I'm just gonna cut it in quarters for now. All right, I am plugging in the food processor, and let me zoom you guys in to see what's happening over here. So I'm gonna be feeding my potatoes on the top here, and then this part helps push down the potatoes. And when I take all of this apart, you are left here with these tiny shredded potatoes. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the potatoes. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that up. Alrighty, so here are all my potatoes. Those were 2 of the potatoes. And I don't know if you guys can hear the sizzling in the background, but I have a hot pan on the stove and I'm melting butter. I'm gonna go ahead and add these in because we have to brown these. We have to make them into like a crunchy hash. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these, and then we will start preparing the rest of the items. Alrighty, so first I'm gonna go ahead and start cracking some eggs. Then we're gonna be adding a splash of milk. We'll be adding some salt and pepper. All right, so I did about 8 eggs total. A little bit of milk. A little bit of pepper. A dash of salt. And I'm just gonna take my fork and whisk this up. And then those leftover scrambled eggs that we had from making the breakfast burritos, I'm just gonna throw that little bit of egg in at the end since those ones are already fully cooked. And one ingredient that I did forget for this farmers is I took out cheddar cheese from the fridge. So those eggs I'm gonna go ahead and set aside. And then I need to chop up this a little bit of red onion that I have. Usually if I was making it for myself, I'd be adding pepper, but my mother does not like pepper at all. That is not her jam. If I did have some, I would be adding spinach. She does enjoy that. And she's very basic when it comes to what she likes in her farmers. She's just happy if it has bacon and cheese in it. and the potatoes, of course. But I'm gonna go the extra mile and I'm going to saute up some of these red onions for her. Alrighty, there should be more than enough red onion for my mom's breakfast. So let me go ahead and show you how the potatoes coming on the stovetop. Alrighty, so potatoes are in here. We do want them to get like a golden brown color. This part takes the longest compared to everything else when we make the farmers. But like I said, they make these potato hash in the freezer section. And especially if you have it thawed out, it should not take very long at all. This is probably my mother's favorite breakfast, right next to French toast. So I definitely want to make a few plates of this. I'm probably going to be putting it in Chinese takeout containers, kind of like a meal prep container. And that way I can still add my mom's little label of encouraging words. So to these potatoes, I am going to be seasoning them with pepper and salt as well. You do want to season every layer. And I want these to be extra delicious for her. Now that these potatoes are almost done, I'm going to go ahead and add the red onions. That way we can soften those. And while we're at it, I'm gonna go ahead and add a dollop of butter. I did add probably about a tablespoon before I added the potatoes. I think I'm gonna add another tablespoon just to help this out. So the potatoes are gonna finish cooking, the onions are gonna soften, and then we're gonna go in with some more ingredients. When you add in the onions, that's when you would have added your peppers as well. But like I said, my mother does not like peppers. So now that I see that the potatoes are definitely starting to get brown and the onions are very fragrant and they're starting to be a little bit clear, a little bit translucent. Now I'm going to be adding in our chopped tomatoes. The tomatoes don't take very long to cook, so I'm just gonna let this sit here for a couple of minutes just so everything can get soft. And then we're gonna be adding in the eggs so that we can cook those. All right, so I can see that the tomatoes are starting to blister. They're cooking down. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add my eggs in here. If you guys had spinach, now would be the perfect time to add in your spinach as well. And because these are all freezer meals, I don't really have to worry about reheating my bacon bits here. So if you were making this for the morning, for your family, now I would recommend putting in your baking bits to reheat them if they've gotten room temperature. But like I said, these are all for the freezer, so it doesn't really matter that my bacon bits are gonna be cold. And I really do think that the spinach and the peppers and the tomatoes, I think all of the vegetables help because it brings color to the dish. Other than that, it is not the most appetizing meal. As you can see, the red really brings a bright color to it. Some green or orange bell pepper chopped up would have been beautiful. And when you can see the onion, the purple, it looks gorgeous too. And vegetables, they definitely help make this dish look better and smell better and taste better. These eggs are pretty much done cooking, so what I'm gonna do is add in the bacon bits. That way I can mix these in. And what I'm gonna be adding is some cheddar cheese. This is just shredded cheddar. My mom has to have cheese in her farmers, otherwise it's just not the same. So I added a hefty amount of that, and we're gonna mix this together. That way we can get the cheese melted and the bacon bits evenly distributed. Alrighty, so here is our homemade farmers. Let's go ahead and start plating this deliciousness up. Alright, so I got the whole setup over here. I did take out some of these Chinese containers like I was telling you guys before. I just got the circular ones, and I have a bunch stacked over here, and you guys can see back there I have plastic wrap to wrap these, and then of course our cute little labels. So I'm not quite sure how many containers I'm going to be able to get out of what we just made, but originally my guess was about 4 containers, so I'm going to start off with 4. And y'all, 4 was the magic number. I'm pretty happy having 4 containers here of delicious breakfast. My mother's favorite, farmers. I'm not sure what else to call it, but we kind of know it as farmers. And now what I'm gonna do is cap all of these off. And I'm just gonna take the plastic wrap and cut about that much. That way we can just cover the takeout container. Make sure that they're fully sealed and add in an encouraging word. And now we have 4 packages of Farmers to add to the collection. Let me show you guys everything that we made today, and we can stick all of this in the freezer. Alrighty, my mom has a bunch of breakfasts that she can eat every single morning before work. I'm so excited just to be able to get the opportunity to be able to take care for her in the morning. I mean, I'm her child, I'm her baby, and she's taken care of me for 20 plus years, and the least I can do is get breakfast ready for her. And I'm just so excited to be able to put this in the freezer, and I don't have to worry about making her breakfast for a while, which is why I do it always in bulk. That way I don't have to worry about it for a little bit. And she has options every single morning. That way every single morning she's not just eating a Farmer's or just eating a breakfast sandwich. She has choices. So obviously all of these you can make on your own. You can substitute sausage instead of the bacon, because personally I am not a bacon fan. And if you guys want to try to be healthier, turkey bacon is definitely the way to go. You also don't even need to add any of the turkey bacon or the sausage. I highly recommend making your breakfasts ahead of time, especially if you are super busy and you're always running late in the morning. You have breakfast to go. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, and if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click that red button down below. My social media is always listed down below for you guys. I hope you guys are having an awesome week. I will see you in my next video. Have a great day.